All right. I've started a little early to see if this is working. I'm gonna go here on my computer too. Let's see here. So if you're on here, hi. Let me see if it's coming up. For those who are here early, you get to hear me singing. Okay. I think I'm on now. I'll still wait a few more minutes as we get this thing going. This is really weird because there's like a 10-second delay between my recording on the phone and what shows up on my computer. So we will see how this goes. All right. A little bit longer. Now I've got my phone, my wife's phone, the computer. Looking real savvy here. So a few more minutes here. For those who are already joined in, if you have questions, I think this is the first time I've done YouTube Live. I think there's 3 options. I think you can I think you can comment if you're a YouTube person. You can comment, add a public comment at the bottom of the live feed. You can text my phone, although I'm not quite sure when it pops up on my phone that's recording how that'll work. Or I did in one of the emails give you Megan's, my wife's, and you can text me there too. So if you have questions, there might be a slight delay just because, again, there's the 10 seconds, so I may have moved on, but it'll pop up, so that's okay. But I'll give you a few more minutes. Ooh, 6 watching now. Oh, I'm so famous. Anyway, we'll see how this goes. As you can tell, I dressed up and shaved for you here this evening for this important meeting. All right, 8 o'clock. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. This will record, so either you can go back and watch it again, or those who couldn't make it could record. So anyway, so let's go ahead and get started. First and foremost, this is not my favorite way to meet, is to have to go through video and YouTube Live, but it is what it is. You know, back when I was a kid, there were certain times of the week that were kind of held sacred, even if you weren't religious. You know, Wednesday nights and Sundays, activities just avoided those 2 days. Again, even if you didn't go to church, it was just kind of, all right, that's the time we're going to set aside. You know, you can have late practice the rest of the week, but unfortunately, that's not the way today. Today, there is stuff all the time. And so finding a meeting time, it's a whole new world. It's difficult. And so this really was the best way to touch base with parents tonight and also allow them to watch it later on to kind of get caught up on what's going. So again, during this, feel free to text me, to comment on the page. As I look down, it's because I'm looking at my computer. If you have questions, and I'll try to answer the questions as we go along. Really what this meeting is about is a touch base. We haven't talked really since maybe October of last year. I've not done a good job updating everybody. Kind of the busyness of the holidays and other things got in the way. And bottom line is I dropped the ball and haven't communicated with you. So I wanted to touch base and let you know where we're at. As far as the mission trip, it is a go. I have checked with our contacts there, Linda and Solomon. Linda is the director of the children's home. Solomon is I don't know what you would call him really, kind of the manager of the place. And so I've contacted them and we are a go. As far as the original itinerary that I sent you many months ago, that itinerary is still good. It's still what we're going to be doing. I'll resend that tomorrow. There's a few things as we talk today. I'll resend that itinerary of what's going to happen. Starting on Saturday, March 16th is when we will leave. and head down south. We'll try to leave at 7 a.m. in the morning, good and early. Saturday night, we're going to be going to my parents' house just south of Fort Worth, having barbecue there, doing a few fun activities, waking up, going on down to the border and into Mexico on Sunday night. Monday through Friday, and again, I've talked about this before, but just kind of reviewing because it's been a while. Monday through Friday, we'll be there and doing different activities and projects. That really is still the unknown right now, is what exactly we'll be doing each and every day. But the days will be full, and it'll be a combination of projects, service project type things, doing things with the kids there. I think you can see Isaac in the background right there. Doing things with the kids and all sorts of different things. They are full days. It'll be exhausting, but it's a good thing. So anyway, so that's kind of what happened. Then Saturday morning we'll leave, 2 days of travel back, and we'll arrive back Sunday night, the 24th. It'll be a great trip. It'll be an exhausting trip, but that's kind of the overview. Once again, I will email you a copy again if you have lost yours, but that's the plan. So there are especially 3 things I want to do tonight, real quick. One is I want to talk about fundraising. Another thing I want to talk about is what you need to do right now, kind of coming up, the immediate things you need to be working on. And the third thing is really answer questions, any questions you may have, concerns, things like that. So let's start off, first of all, with the fundraising part. When you hear the word fundraising, a lot of people are like, nah. I've done fundraising over the years. It's not fun to ask people for money, but this is an important part of mission work. And let me try to relate it this way so you understand. And some of you, and I can tell you, money has already started to come in for this mission trip, and not just earmarked for a specific person, not just like this money is for Thomas Horstel. We've had people say, here's money for the mission trip. And so we're going to work together as we try to raise $500 per person. And so, oh, there's a little pop up on my phone, but that worked good. So we're going to try to raise it together. But fundraising, here's how I can relate it. At our church, handful of times a year, there will be missionaries come in. Maybe it's a prison ministry. Maybe it's, there's all sorts of different things. The camp comes in at times. Show Me Youth Children's Home comes in, and they'll share a little presentation, and we'll take up a special offering. And that's what they're doing. They're saying, here's the ministry. Is this something you want to support? Will you please give money? And we do. They're giving an opportunity. If Richard Blake, for an example, he's, I think, the prison ministry out of Missouri. I'm not even quite sure the exact organization. But when he comes and presents what he's doing and asks for a special collection, that's my chance, my wife and I's chance to write a check and say, wow, awesome what you're doing. Here's money to support that. If he didn't come, honestly, I don't know how I would be able to support that. So here's what that means as far as a youth mission trip. People want to support missions. They especially want to support young people going to foreign countries to help students, to help others, to stop thinking about themselves in video games and Snapchat. And so it's important. And so what we're doing is we're not just asking for money. What we're doing is we're saying, hey, here's what I'll be doing. Is this something you want to support? So it's important. And so here's kind of what I'm going to do. One thing is this. Some people I know have a grandparent or somebody who said, I will write you the check to send you to Mexico. Well, let me step back just a second. The point of going on a mission trip, this is not a typical trip that like, hey, we're going on a school band trip to another state. It's going to cost you X amount of dollars. Write a check. I need the money by February 1st or you can't go. That's not what a mission trip is about. This is about we're raising this money together. We want each person to raise $500. But even if somebody flat out writes you a check and says, I'm Grandpa Joe and I want to have little Jimmy go on this trip. Here's a $500 check. Bam, there you go. He's paid for. It's actually more than that. And so I'm going to stress to the students as well as the parents that even if you have the money taken care of, somebody has said, I want to bless you, I'm going to send you, pay the full amount. I still am going to ask that you send letters asking for support. It's an important part of the process. Anybody who raises over 500, praise God, that money will go to the group as a whole. Some will have already raised, basically been promised much more than that. Others are going to struggle to get that amount, but together we're going to get the amount we need. God is faithful, and honestly, I'm not worried about it one bit. I know the money will be provided. So whether you have sponsors yet or not, I am going to ask that you send some letters. Tomorrow, I will be emailing lots of different things, but one of that will be letters. Let me see. I think there's a I think something popped up on my thing here. Yes, I will be sending a couple different letter options, and here are your choices. One is, and what I would recommend, which I've done in the past, is that I have a letter from me on letterhead from the church saying, here's what we're going to do, here's the opportunities, yada yada yada, and then a handwritten note from the student saying, I'm taking part of this, Uncle Bob, Grandma Jody, whatever it is, would you be willing to support me in this matter? That's what I would recommend. Seal that up in an envelope. If you need to mail it, mail it. If you hand it to him, hand it to him. But that, you'll have a printed letter from me, and then you'll have, and I'll get those together and give those to students. I'll print them out and I'll sign them. And then you'll also have a handwritten note from the student. I think that works best. It shows the fact of, I can give them lots of information on what we're doing, and then the student can show that they care and they, that they want to. Oh, does something else pop up? Sorry, I'm trying to figure all this out while we go at one time. Okay. Anyway, so that's to help you out. So again, though, even if you have your full money paid, I want students to do this, at least to a handful of people. It's important. It's an important part of the process. I've been praying for this trip and the fundraising already, and I know you guys need to be praying as well, and will be praying. But again, the money will come. I know it'll come. Anybody who wants to contribute can make the check out to Southview Christian Church and get it to me, and I'll make sure and get a deposit. That way it's tax deductible, and we will go from there. As far as deadlines for money, I'm not going to put a hard deadline on you have to have $500 raised by this date or you're out. I'm not going to do that. But what I am going to do is on March 1st, we are going to evaluate where we're at. Fundraising in the past with youth groups, we are blessed at Southview that we have lots of people that support the things we do. In other churches I've been at, I've done more hot dog sales than I want to admit. We had to do those fundraising type things, and it's difficult, but it can be done. And so we're not going to necessarily plan a fundraising event, but on March 1st, we will look at the total dollar amount we have, look at anybody who's pledged something, and we will we'll go from there, and then we'll make decisions from there. Trying to learn of what? Okay, if you are trying to make comments on the live chat, I'm not getting those. I'm getting texts, but I'm not necessarily getting the live chat questions, just so you know. I don't know why they're not showing up. So if you want to ask a question or comment, make sure and text it to me. My phone number. Here one just came through now. I don't know. We'll work with that. But so moving forward, so that's what we're going to do money-wise. It's not something to be concerned about, but at the same time, it's something that we need to be praying about. We're definitely going to talk about it in our meetings leading up to the mission trip. So money-wise, if you have any questions, please let me know. And really, if you have any questions, these meetings / videos is for, it's for me to communicate, but pick up the phone and call me. If you want to. Oh, great. Now the teenagers have the link, so they're texting me all kinds of stuff. So anyway, but that's good. That means they're here. So anyway, feel free to call me, text me, email me, and I can answer your questions individually. So that's the money aspect. Another aspect that I want to touch on is what you need to do now. The upcoming, not really deadlines, but dates. One, immediately passport. In order to go across the border, a student must have either a passport or a card that's like a passport, but it's cheaper. It's just a card where you can cross over Mexico and back. Anyway, look for more information. If you have questions, let's contact Tom because he's done it with his kids. I've only done the passport with Isaac and myself and Megan. I've not done the card, the passport card. But you need to get that now. Make sure and start the process because it does take some time. And the longer you wait, you'll get into a time where you have to pay a lot of extra money in order to expedite it, which you don't want to do that. So passport. Get that done right now. Extremely important. If you have a passport, double, triple, quadruple check the date of expiration. I've run into this before. You think, oh, I had a passport back when, we went on a family vacation onto a cruise. So, old Bobby has a passport, no problem. And then you go into your little safe later on, you pick it up a week before the trip and you realize, oh, it's expired. And then we got a problem. So double check the expiration date now. Look at if you've not done it now. So that's what we're going to do. There was one comment about my beautiful face is that maybe there could be some challenge where if we raise the buddy by March 1st, I have to grow out a beard or something. It'd be easy to do because this is like 2 days, I think. So that is a spiritual gift of mine. Anyway, so we'll see how it goes. Back to money-wise, we will have a special offering for our church to be able to give money. So what I'm going to ask is when you send the letters asking for support, don't send it to Southview members because we're going to ask them as a group to support our group as a whole. But again, we're going to raise the money. I really am not nervous about it one bit. It's going to happen. God's faithful. His will is in this, and it's going to be great. So anyway, passports. I will get you the letters in order to send out. So that's kind of the immediate thing on our radars and what's going to happen. Moving forward, we are going to start having meetings for the students only, to talk with them. I mean, if a parent wants to come, I guess you can. But anyway, for definitely the important part is for the kids. And so looking at the calendar, it's going to be, and I'll email this out. These 3 days are already kind of laid out. And what schedules are so difficult. And so what I did is we're going to try Sundays from 5 to 6. The reason being 6 o'clock is senior high. Most can get there during that time. It's difficult, but they really are required. They need to be there for this to participate. It's extremely important. So anyway, so from 5 to 6 on these 3 days, January 27th, so that's a week from Sunday, February 17th, and March 3rd. That'll be the 3 definite dates we have scheduled from 5 to 6. And then we'll probably add one in there somewhere, but those are the 3 that are definitely. Put them on your calendar, and so you'll know what's going on. One other question that I did have and that I want to answer as well as I look on these other questions is about safety again, especially I put this in my email to parents, especially with all the border junk and caravan and all that stuff that's been going on. Stuff you see on the news, it looks terrible. I mean, like, where's that at? Most of that is California. The area I've spoken with Linda and Solomon there in Mexico, it is not affected where we cross at all, nowhere in that area. And in fact, if you remember about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, President Trump went down there to do some PR thing with seeing the wall and all this other stuff. He went to McAllen, which is very close to where we cross. The reason he went there, it's the safest border that he could go to. So it really is a safe area. I'm very confident. Everybody's confident about it. Our worship minister, Travis, his daughter, Solomon, who I mentioned, is married to Solomon. His daughter is, and they went down to see her during Christmas. And again, felt very safe. And so I'm very confident of the safety as far as that's concerned. But if you have any more concerns, please let me know. So anyway, so that's kind of touching on what's coming up and what is expected. We have 8 confirmed students going, 8 definites. I do have a couple spots. If somebody can go, I will add them late, for the next couple of weeks. But we have the 8 definite going, 3 chaperones. So that'll be great. We'll go in the church van to travel down, pulling a trailer, and we will head down. We have our brand new church van, which is great, much safer. It's the newer model, and so it really will be a safe trip when it comes to that. Those are the main things. Let me see. Go ahead and text in anything that you may have an extra question on about what may be happening and what's going on. And again, feel free to contact me with any questions or any concerns going forward. But I am excited about it. I've been on a lot of mission trips. Some of you have, I know. It really can be life-changing. It just gets you out of yourself and stop thinking about yourself and other people. Start to think about other people. And so if for no other reason, it's great that way. But they're going to see some great things. They're going to be involved in some great things, helping some people. They're going to see poverty, some of them in a way they've not seen. And they're going to get to do things they're just not used to doing, really. So I'm really excited about this trip. I hope it's the beginning as well as Southview Youth that we can start doing these mission trips in the future, especially as our younger students come up. The reason we haven't done the last 3 years is honestly, we just weren't mature enough. And so I'm excited about this group and the maturity they have. Every student that's the definite, I'm very confident in. Their motives, their desire, their hearts, I just don't hesitate at any of them. I think it really is going to be a great thing. As far as one thing, I will give you an update. Down there right now is the Hero Makers. That is an organization that during this time of year, they take men's trips down there, a group of men anywhere from 13 to 25. They're down there now doing some projects, and so it's interesting to see what they're doing. And based on what they do and other groups before us will determine what kind of service type projects we'll do. Then also the ability of our group. If a student has a special ability, we'll try to use that the best we can. So anyway, moving forward as far as prep for it, what they're going to do, students are going to be asked, again, to teach a mini lesson devotional. It does not have to be anything great. So we'll talk about that in the 3 meetings leading up to. We'll talk about a little bit of speaking Spanish. That it's fun getting down there and trying to speak to them, and they're trying to speak to you, and they're limited. It's quite a thing. But we're actually going to try to learn a few words in Spanish and go down a little bit more prepared. So that'll be definitely and discussion of missions, of what we do, of loving others, of the importance of this mission trip. That it's much more, and I can tell you, this is not just a vacation. And I'm going to stress this to the students. It is not a vacation. You are going to work hard. You're going to be tired. By the end of it, you're going to be sick of each other. I mean, love each other deeply. But it really is, it's going to be hard work. It's going to be physically taxing in some ways, emotionally taxing in some ways, spiritually taxing in some ways. It's going to challenge you, even more than like camp. Camp is interesting because it really is a time of blessing, but you get that at camp as well. But even, it's just different. I don't even know how to explain it. If I could, it would be awesome. But once they go on this trip, they're going to be explain it to others. And so really am excited what's going to happen. Looking at any other comments or questions that I have, I don't see anything. If you have, this video is not public on YouTube, but it is, for some reason the chats are not coming through on my live stream. I don't really know why, but it's not necessarily public. You have to have the link in order to view it. So I send those links out and people can watch it. I haven't used students' names or parents' name. Well, I guess I used Thomas's name, didn't I? Nah, he's a pastor's kid. He's fine. So it's out there and you can watch it later on as well. But if you have a specific concern about your student, make sure and contact me. And so I think that's what's going on. That kind of gives you a thing. So be looking for passport. I can't say it enough. Today, I will warn you, don't try to do it on a Friday. That is a disaster. It is so busy, the passport place on a Friday. But anyway, get it done. Get the passport going. If you don't have one, check the expiration date. Secondly, you will be receiving letters in order to send out. Start making a list of who you're going to ask. We will send letters asking for yes money, but also prayer. And then we'll also send letters at the end thanking them / telling them what we've done, whether they supported or not. This communication is very important for the students as well. So those are the 2 things. Then we have the 3 meetings coming up, which on the calendar are Sunday 5 to 6, the 27th of January, the 17th of February, the 3rd of March. So 3 definite meetings coming up. Don't miss those. Have to have those students there. Parents don't have to come. Be praying for this trip. And then we're going to evaluate on March 1st the dollar amount we have and where to go from there, supporting each other. Again, any questions, feel free to text me, to email me. So anyway, in fact, if you'll do me one thing, a favor, if you will email me or text me how this worked as far as seeing me live, let me know how that happened, because if this worked, I'm going to have another meeting next week for student ministries as a whole. So I want to kind of test this. So let me know how this worked, didn't work, positives, negatives. The one thing I'm kind of disappointed, honestly, is that I don't know if anybody did comment at the bottom, but I'm just not getting, the live comments at the bottom. So maybe nobody did. I don't know. Let me pull it down one more time. No. Anyway, a couple of them, but they weren't really serious. Anyway, okay, so that's kind of what's going on. God bless you. Talk to your kids. Share with your kids if they weren't able to watch this. I did send it to some students. There'll be a chance to look on. I'll be talking to them, praying for them, and I just can't stress enough how awesome this is going to be for your students, and it really will change their lives. It really will do things. Just lets them. Oh, hey, there we go. I got a comment. Tom Morstel said, "Here's a comment." Excellent, very intelligent, very deep thought there. So yes, so it does show up. That's great. So anyway, hope this worked. God bless you. Let me know of any questions. I'll check in with you here in the upcoming weeks. You should be receiving emails from me tomorrow with all this information. And I guess that's Barry's out.